Shakir completed. This is behind Cooper, who brought it in, pitched it back to Allen, who's going to go to the goal line and get in! No! Spectacular touchdown!
Oh baby, back at it again. Week 13, gonna give you my power rankings. Kenny C here to break it all down with you. You're gonna want to subscribe to the channel because we got this content coming every single week. Let's get into these power rankings. Starting with number 5, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers coming in at 5, 44-38 win over Cincy. Let Russ cook. Since Russ took over, the Steelers' yards per game ranks second in the league, 339.7. 28.6 points per game is 6th best in the league. Russ cooked with 414 yards and 3 touchdowns against Cincy. Here's a crazy stat for you that speaks volumes to the resiliency of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are the only team in the NFL to win a game having scored no touchdowns. They actually did it twice. And also win a game giving up 5 touchdowns. Mike Tomlin and Terrell Austin, the D coordinator, they know what they're doing. The Steelers are the second best defense in the league. In my opinion, I give the nod to the Philadelphia Eagles as the best defense in the league right now. Calvin Austin the third on that in that offense. 4 touchdowns to George Pickens is 3. Now obviously Pickens is the better wide receiver, but it also speaks volumes to the production of Austin and what he means for the Steelers offense. Najee Harris is off and rumbling, 800 plus yards on the ground with 4 touchdowns. This is a Steelers team that looks like a complete unit on both sides of the ball, sitting at 9-3, first place in the AFC North. They got a tough schedule coming up though. Their next 5, the last 5 of the year, are the Browns, who they lost to 2 weeks ago in the blizzard, albeit, Philadelphia, Baltimore, who's looking a little fraudulent, so I think that's winnable. It's a divisional game, but you never know what's going to happen with it. Kansas City on Christmas Day, and Cincy. I said the Steelers would beat Kansas City on Christmas Day. I stand by that. The Steelers coming at number 5 for me. And at number 4, the aforementioned Kansas City Chiefs. 11-1. They clinched the first playoff berth in the entire NFL with that win on Black Friday over the Raiders by the skin on their teeth. They're the 1 seed in the AFC. This is a Chiefs team that you can still not count out. You cannot, because last year when they were sitting at 9-5, we all thought this Chiefs team looks weak. Now I know they look even weaker on the offense this year than last year, but still, when you have 3 names on the Chiefs, these 3 names, Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, and Patrick Mahomes, you cannot count them out. 19-17 win over the Raiders on Black Friday. Daniel Carlson, if he doesn't miss 3 field goals, the Raiders probably win that game. They've been getting outplayed by teams over the last few weeks. They got outplayed by Carolina, they escaped it. Buffalo beat them, gave them the first loss in the year. I think that's a really big barometer or indicator of how good Buffalo is as well. They barely beat the Denver Broncos. They had to block a field goal in order to pull it off. Baker Mayfield never got the ball in overtime. They won that game in overtime. This is a Chiefs team that does find ways to win. Yes, they look fairly weak compared to years prior, but I just do not think you can count them out. But I have them sitting at number 4 in my power rankings. And at number 3, Giants fans, cover your ears because I got the Philadelphia Eagles as the 3rd best team in my power rankings. 10-2 right now. They have a stronghold over the NFC East. Battle of the backs, as it was deemed. Baltimore versus Philly. Derrick Henry versus Saquon Barkley. And Barkley emerged victorious, 107 yards, 1 touchdown. And he now has 8 100-plus yard games on the season. 8-game winning streak for these guys. A statement win over Baltimore. A bunch of people that I talked to said, I don't know, if Philly can't beat Baltimore here, I might look at them a bit differently. But I think on the other side of this, after it's all said and done, you look at Baltimore differently. You look at Baltimore and you say they look pretty fraudulent, and the Eagles, contrary to last year with the fallout in the wild card against the Buccaneers where they got romped, the Philadelphia Eagles actually look like a very good team, and they look like they are 10-2. It's not a fugazi record. Jalen Carter looks like the new Fletcher Cox. Cooper DeJean has been outstanding in the secondary. The two big factors of why the Eagles are so good this season. Vic Fangio as the D coordinator taking over for Sean Desai, getting him out of there, and Saquon Barkley getting into this offense. 1,499 yards on the season. He leads the league in rushing. He's got 11 touchdowns, 11 rushing touchdowns. Jalen Hurts has more than him. He's second in the league with 12. This 1-2 punch is lethal. The Eagles are a well-oiled machine. In games where they went up against top 10 offenses, the Baltimore Ravens, they held them to 19 points. The Commanders, they held them to 18 points. The Bengals, they held them to 17 points. I think the Eagles defense is the best defense in the league, and they are legit. And at number 2, let's go Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills I have at number 2 in the power rankings, clinching the AFC East, 10-2 record, second to only Chiefs in the AFC, 35-10 romping of San Francisco in a blizzard. It's almost like the Bills stand in front of snowblowers as they spit out snow and they just eat it up. They play better in the elements. They are the Bills Mafia. Josh Allen, the first quarterback in NFL history to toss a touchdown pass, run for a touchdown, and catch a touchdown. Just the fourth quarterback in NFL history to throw a touchdown and end up catching it and being on the receiving end. Albeit in this scenario, it was Amari Cooper with the lateral and Josh Allen diving to the pylon. An iconic play, capitalizes a 7-game winning streak for them. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs 30-21. They beat the Miami Dolphins 30-27 in a big divisional game. They are second to only the Detroit Lions in the NFL in points per game with 29.6. Josh Allen, if it weren't for Saquon Barkley and his existence, Allen, in my opinion, would be at the forefront for the MVP award. 20 touchdowns to 5 picks, 2,691 yards, and a 64.6 completion percentage. Sean McDermott, Coach of the Year, question mark? I think so. His defense is consistently great. Bobby Babich has done a great job as the D coordinator. Christian Benford is arguably the best DB in the league. You got Matt Milano back, one of the best linebackers in the league. That Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard duo in the middle of the field is uncanny. This is a Buffalo Bills team that I think will go to the Super Bowl this year. And coming in at number 1 of my Week 13 power rankings, I'm a Packers fan, so it pains me to say it, but I'm an unbiased Packers fan. I call it how it is. I give credit where it is well deserved. The Detroit Lions are number 1 on my list, 11-1. They haven't lost a game since Week 2 against the Buccaneers. 10-game winning streak. Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn, the D coordinator, I've given them high praise throughout this entire season. They have been two of the best coaches in the National Football League. Aaron Glenn with that defense and how beat up they've been, losing Marcus Davenport for the year early on. Same with John Comiskey. You have Alex Anzalone out 6 to 8 weeks with that fractured forearm. And Carlton Davis, day to day, they get him back in practice. Thankfully, that's a big plus for them that they got him back. But you got Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch have been two of the best safeties in the National Football League. Jamal Adams, who they added on Monday for depth. 2022, he tore his quad tendon. He has played this year. He adds depth to the team and leadership at that. He's a vet. He's a good coverage safety / linebacker. You can put him in the box. I like the move. 31.9 points per game for this Lions offense. They are humming. They got 2 games with 7 touchdowns and 50-plus points. Far and away the best offense in the National Football League. Jared Goff, he's got his 1-2 punch behind him in Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, Sam Laporta, Jamo Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. This Lions team looks scary, and they are a threat to the entire league. I see a world in which we see a Bills-Lions Super Bowl. They got Green Bay coming up in a marquee matchup on Thursday Night Football. Green Bay, albeit, did beat themselves up in the first meeting and had the game and had they executed in the red zone. I think that Green Bay can beat the Lions this Thursday, but it's a divisional matchup. You never know what's going to happen. They're going to go head-to-head, and they're going to clash, and they're going to fight. But Dan Campbell has instilled one thing into this team. If you had to pick one thing, it's the fact that we will not be pushed around. We will go out there and punch you in the mouth. They got the Buffalo Bills after that, which is a huge game. They got the Chicago Bears, San Fran, and they cap off the year with the Vikings. So no easy comings in the next 5 weeks for them. It's going to be a bloodbath, but I think that the Detroit Lions are far and away the best team in the league. What say you? Drop your comments in the comment section below. And please, please, please subscribe to the channel.